Hey everyone, my name is Sophie from Sophisticated Organization. Welcome to another Sophisticated Saturday where together we work through my to-do list and get things done around the house. I am trying to use up a few ingredients that I have in my refrigerator today to do a little bit of healthy meal prep. One of the ingredients I have is zucchini, and this was truly on, I think it's last day. So I decided to make some healthy zucchini muffins. You could easily add chocolate chips in these. They are from a toddler website, so they're very kid friendly, but I have also indulged in quite a few of them since I've baked these. They're delicious for adults as well. So I would give this recipe a try, especially because it's just a really easy one. And if you've made any zucchini muffins before or brownies, you probably know that a lot of times you have to squeeze out that extra moisture, which is such a pain, or you have to grate it either by hand or grate it with the food processor. But this is actually just done all within the food processor, so you're not dirtying a bunch of bowls and mixing tools. You can just chop up the zucchini, put it in the food processor, blend it up that way without any special attachments, and then you can add in the rest of your ingredients with the exception of flour or the chocolate chips. And then once it's all well combined, you are going to add the flour in, just mix it or pulse it until it is combined. You just don't want to overmix it when it has the flour in it. And then if you decide to add chocolate chips, you can stir those in by hand. So I would recommend this recipe if you have some leftover zucchini this summer, maybe not yet, but if you have a garden or something. I feel like a lot of people end up with extra zucchini over the summer. This would be a really great one to try. And I will link the recipe in the description box below if you're interested in giving it a try. I was really trying to clean as I go. I have told you guys before that that's a point I'm working on, is as I'm cooking and as I'm baking to clean up with every step. So I put all of the ingredients away before I scooped the muffins in, and I did double the recipe. So I am going to make a second batch after this batch is done cooking in the oven. I'm just using a large cookie scoop here, dropping each one into the pre-greased muffin tin, and while they bake, I am going to head outside and water some plants. I also shared on Instagram that I really wanted to do thought about doing a garden again this year, and I feel like it's getting a little bit late in the season for us to build garden beds, buy garden beds, figure out a drip line. I kind of think that's the way I want to do it, and it just feels like it's not the right time. Like we have a lot going on, and it's just hard to get stuff done with two little kids. And though I'm not working right now, I definitely can't do that alone. I need Jim's help. So again, for the two of us to be free to do those types of things is a little bit difficult. So I just decided to head over to Lowe's. I picked up a couple of plants. Got 3. I got oregano, I got basil, this tomato plant that I'm watering, and I also got some dill. I feel like in the summer I use a lot of dill, so I'm hoping that will be a useful plant as well. Once I finished watering those, I'm going to head to the front. I just planted these flowers that we also picked up from Lowe's. They're just drop and go ones. I thought about doing a flower arrangement, but we did the drop and go last year, and honestly, it worked out pretty well. Didn't have to overthink it, so it worked. And then I realized when I was outside that we had a very large delivery, so I am going to grab that. I'm going to pop open the garage door and start to unpack. The first package was some organizing supplies that I got for kids' crafts. So I'm going to bring those down to the basement. And then the big box is one we've been waiting for. We got our kids a Wagon. And yes, I know this thing is all out if you're familiar with kids' toys and kids' products. This one is very pricey. It was actually a delayed baby gift, so we're very excited about it. But the only thing is you can't use it until your baby is at least 6 months old. They need to be able to sit up to use it. There is a special attachment that you can get to put a car seat in it, but first of all, I didn't want to buy the special attachment. And second of all, our car seat is the Duna car seat, so it's a car seat and stroller all in one, so it doesn't work with things where you can typically drop in a normal car seat with car seat attachments. So even if we got that attachment, we'd have to get like a special car seat to go with it, just a whole ordeal. Henry is 5 months old, so we are getting very close to him being able to sit in this anyway. But I will say, once I got this whole thing built and Owen saw it, he wanted to immediately climb in it. He was so excited, and every single night he's wanted to go for a walk in the Wagon. And because Henry can't fit in it or can't sit up properly in it, we have to push the Wagon and push the stroller. So we look like just the craziest family pushing all of these strollers and wagons with only 2 kids. Our other stroller has a second seat on it, and it has a little ride-on board in the back. So that could theoretically fit 3 children, and this Wagon can fit 4 kids at a time. So I guess we're pushing around enough strollers and wagons to carry 7 children, which feels crazy. But the Wagon, I'm hoping, will be really fun, especially once Henry can sit in it, because they can sit across from each other. There's a little tray in the middle that they can put snacks on, and just kind of, I think it'll be good for longer trips to places like the zoo or something like that. But regardless, Owen seems to really like it. And honestly, this was not that complicated to put together. It's kind of mostly built. It's just attaching the wheels, and the instructions were pretty clear. I was able to do it all by myself. I did put on the canopy a little bit later when Owen wanted to go for a walk, but I hadn't done it in this video. It was really easy just to thread the fabric through those curved metal pieces and then just pop it right on the top. So there is a little bit of shade there as well. Then I attached the seats. I thought about maybe just attaching one side so Owen had some more room to kind of roam around, but decided just to put both sets of seats in there. He sits directly in the middle of it, but again, it can fit 4 kids, so each side fits 2 kids, and I think it holds up to 300 pounds. This thing is a beast to push. I thought our other stroller was like a lot to push when we were going on family walks. A lot of times when we go up a hill, I make Jim push up the hills. But when we're both pushing both of these things, the stroller feels like a feather compared to this Wagon. So I don't think it's ideal for probably like long walks and stuff. But if you're at a place where it makes sense and the kids are going to be in there longer, or you have more than 2 kids or something, I can really see the benefit of it. After all of that, we're back in the kitchen, and like I said, we're using up ingredients that I have a lot of in my fridge and are going bad. And one of the things I got way too many of are cuties from Costco. The bag from Costco is just ginormous. I feel like we cannot finish them, and I don't know why. I think I did a grocery pickup order. I got a huge bag of carrots. We used a fair amount of them for a recipe, but I still had a ton left over. So I am going to make some carrot and orange juice with my juicer. I just sliced all of the oranges, or I guess cuties, in half, and I'm using the juicing attachment. I had a couple of lemons. I thought that would be a good flavor in there as well. So I juiced, I think it was like a lemon and a quarter that I had. And then I'm going to take that top off and put the juicing attachment on and start feeding the carrots through. The carrots sometimes will clog up the juicer, so as I go through, sometimes I do need to empty out the pulp because the juicer starts shaking so much because it has so much extra pulp. But I always forget, and I'm sure many of you, if you have a juicer, forget about it and forget to use it. It's really not that difficult to use a juicer, and the juice that you can make is delicious. And I don't know why I go through this cycle of forgetting about it every single time, but every time I have large amounts of leftover veggies, it does usually spark something in me to say, oh my gosh, I should pull out my juicer, and that will be the best way to use it up really quickly. I popped that in the fridge. I made a little bit of a mess, so I cleaned it up, and then I'm going to put the juicer away. And now that the kitchen is all clean, I'm going to take this opportunity to clean the kitchen floors. I wanted to do a deep clean today. I don't know why. It was just feeling like there were crumbs everywhere. There was spilt food everywhere. So we're going to start by taking a pass with the vacuum. But first, when I do a deep clean of the kitchen floors, I like to put all of the chairs up, really make sure I can access all of the nooks and crannies, pick up some of the rugs and mats that we have on the floors, and that way I can just get everywhere without having to slide things back and forth. Like I said, step one today, I am doing the vacuum, and then I'm going to use my spin mop, which I haven't pulled out in a while. I've had it for a really long time, and I do really like using the manual spin mop. I'm sure you've seen, use a wet dry vac from Bissell that I also really enjoy, but sometimes I like the two-step process. I don't know if it gets a better clean or not, but I will also sometimes do a broom. I can't really figure out what is my favorite combination. I do have my eye on, I think it's called a Tinico or something. That's another brand of a wet dry vac. I've seen it all over social media. So whenever I'm in need of a new cleaning tool, that's probably the next one on my list. I don't think we need anything new right now. Our vacuum still works really well. It actually broke not that long ago, but Dyson gave us a replacement part and it's working just fine now. The Bissell one I just don't like that it's corded, so that feels like a potential for an upgrade at some point. And then the spin mop that I just talked about that I've had for so long, actually the hinge is starting to break because it's so old. So I might have to get rid of our spin mop in the future here. I don't know how much longer it's going to last. And as you saw, I was doing a lot of cleaning there of Owen's tower area. We have a toddler tower where he likes to eat a lot of snacks, climb up there, help me cook, all of that stuff. So that is one of the messiest spots in the kitchen, as well as right over on the side of the table where he eats, because toddlers are crazy with food. They can't quite control it. Sometimes it's an accident. I'm pretty sure sometimes it's on purpose, but that's okay. I was able to scrape off all of the food, give everything a wipe down, and now it is time to mop. And I am using the Casabella mop that I was talking about, this spin mop. I still really would highly recommend it because of how long it has lasted. I want to say it's lasted 10 years probably. So even if it's starting to break, I feel like 10 years is a great life for a spin mop like this. And I'm using the Method Squirt Mop Cleaner in the almond scent for wood. I love the way this smells. And when Jim came downstairs, he was like, oh my gosh, the floors smell so good. The kitchen, the house smells really good and just really nice and clean. So I felt so much better after I was able to clean all the kitchen floors. And of course, after I finished cooking for the day and getting rid of all of those leftover ingredients in the fridge, it just felt nice to say, okay, we're all done with the kitchen. It is cleaned. Nobody enter for a little bit. And we could just enjoy the clean kitchen until later tonight when it's dinner time and we make another mess. Last but not least today, before the kids wake up from their nap, I need to switch the laundry and actually grab some of the laundry out of the washing machine because I did a load of our delicates, and the delicates that I do are usually things that I wash on a delicate cycle, but also things that don't need to be dried or shouldn't be dried. So I don't have to dig through the laundry anymore when I'm washing things and pull out things that need to hang versus can go in the dryer. I just separate them out in advance, and then everything that needs to hang, I can just do it in that load. I know that entire load does not go in the dryer. And it's just, I don't know why I wasn't doing it like that before. It has been so much easier for us that way. This load, I probably only wash once every other week. There's just not enough of it to do every week, but it still makes my life a lot easier doing it that way. So I'm hanging all of that up, and I got a load of towels in, and that is pretty much it for today's video. I want to thank you for joining me, for supporting me, for watching my channel, giving videos thumbs up, all of that stuff. But until next time, I will see you all later.